Hey guys, today I'm going to cover Neblio, and I put this on my poll because somebody in my Discord had mentioned it, but one of the guys from the Crypto Basic podcast had also told me that I should cover it, and that was the big reason why I ended up going on the poll. I gotta say, I didn't know really anything about the project, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of activity on the poll. I think I got on Twitter something like over 600 votes. Not to say that they were all for Neblio, but it was definitely the most active poll I've seen yet, and I got a kick out of it. So good job, Neblio community, for stepping up your game and making sure that I cover your project. As a pleasant reminder, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a professional. Please do not take my advice and trade off it. Please do your own research. I usually do a disclaimer in which I state if I hold any Neblio, and up until about 2 hours ago I didn't, but the team went on a tangent about something and they ended up donating some to me, so now I do hold Neblio, but prior to this video, like I said, I didn't really know anything about the project and I didn't hold any Neblio. Final points to mention: if you like my content, please subscribe. I am very grateful for all the activity I get in the comments and all the subscriptions, so keep up at it. Also, if you like my shirt, which I designed, it is on cryptocandor.com. There's some other merch and stuff over there too, so if you hop on over there, maybe you can pick up something fun. Okay, so on to the project. Neblio is a decentralized, application-centric blockchain platform, and they are focused on bringing businesses to the blockchain. Neblio wants to make it easier for businesses to start developing and using dApps. And they want to do that by decreasing the amount of entry barriers there are, mainly the steep learning curve. They're going to do that by providing users with a suite of RESTful APIs, and those will be in almost all the popular programming languages. These APIs are going to allow programmers to interact with the Neblio blockchain in an intuitive manner. What is a RESTful API? I had no idea, so I did some Googling. Let's start with what a regular API is. API stands for Application Programming Interface. This is the software intermediary that allows two applications to talk to each other. Each time you use an app like Facebook, or you do something like check the weather on your phone, you're utilizing an API. Right, so then what's a REST API? This stands for Representational State Transfer. It is designed to take advantage of existing protocols by being able to be used on top of nearly any protocol. That means that developers don't have to install new libraries or utilize new software in order to take advantage of these REST APIs. Let's talk about the project history a little bit. So Neblio is a young project. It came out in 2017, and it was developed by a gentleman called Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith has a bachelor's degree in computer science, and he also has a lot of experience with computer software. One of the most notable things about the Neblio development team is their ability to deliver on their promises. At the time of their ICO, they already had their wallet ready, and within several weeks they had an Android app. Next up is the ICO. The ICO ran from August 6th to August 20th of 2017, and the price was 20 cents per Neblio token. There was also no personal minimums or maximums on the amount of Neblio tokens that could be purchased during the ICO. There were 125 million total tokens for sale for Neblio. The team stated whatever wasn't sold in the ICO was going to get burned. A cool thing is that if the team wanted to participate in the ICO and own some of their own Neblio tokens, they had to buy it. There was no allotment for the team, and there was no, small amount put away and saved for them. They had to participate in it just like everybody else. After the ICO, there was approximately 13 million Neblio tokens in circulation. That means that around 112 Neblio tokens were burned after the ICO. They publicized that burn address too, so you can check up on it. And at this point, the only way new Neblio tokens are being created is through the 10% staking reward bonus that you get when you hold them in the wallet. On to technology. So Neblio is an open source proof of stake project. It runs on its own blockchain, which is powered by the Neblio token. Neblio has a block time of 2 minutes, and they have a block reward of 10% of your stake tokens. The current transactions per second are 25 to 30. The team states they're doing that to prevent any blocks from being empty. They also state that the project is scalable when it is necessary. Neblio has very specific goals. The first one is to create a blockchain with nearly limitless applications. The second is to create customizable tokens. The third is the RESTful API suite for easy integration. The fourth is token swaps and a decentralized exchange. The main component of Neblio is the Neblio API suite functionality. Businesses working with Neblio can create NTP1 tokens on the blockchain. That might sound kind of similar, and that's because Ethereum and other platforms can do the same. So the NTP1 token is similar to the ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. Businesses will want to do that to power their dApps, and then at that point it can be used for a wide variety of things. The Neblio API suite makes it possible to generate dApps in 8 different coding languages. In December 2017, they released a new wallet for a special device called a Docker. During this process, they developed an optional feature called Quick Sync. This allows nodes to download highly compressed and secure versions of the blockchain. Basically, what this means is that you won't have to wait days or sometimes even weeks for the blockchain to download on the wallet. The Docker container will allow any data service or any iCloud provider to download and deploy a Neblio node. And with the addition of QuickSync, this is something that could be done in just minutes. This is definitely something that stuck out to me immediately when I read it because I have experience with wallets taking too long. So I think it's really important that they prioritize this, especially for ease of use, because obviously businesses don't want to wait an exceptionally long time for this stuff to download. So it was very smart on their part. And that brings us to the present. Currently, Neblio sits at 104 on CoinMarketCap, and their market cap is 147 million. Neblio can be found on Binance, KuCoin, HitBTC, and Cryptopia, but it is worth mentioning that 97% of its trading volume is found on Binance. They currently have wallets for Windows, Macs, Android, and Linux. They have an iOS wallet that is currently waiting approval by Apple, and they also have a wallet for the Raspberry Pi. They recently released their web wallet, which is called Orion. You can send, receive, and store your Neblio tokens there. You can also create and transfer any NTP1 tokens there. If you're interested in actually utilizing their suite of functionality, you can go to their main hub for information, which is Neblio University. There they have all their APIs and all their technical documentation. Literally right before I started recording, there was an announcement from the team that they released their version 1.1 of their Neblio APIs, and those are up on Neblio University, so you can go check them out. For the future and upcoming, they said in Q2 they're going to be doing a marketing campaign, and they're also going to be finalizing the release of the rest of their APIs. They're also planning the beta launch of the Neblio API version 2 solution. Neblio may not be making any cutting-edge advancements as far as development in the crypto world goes, but they are streamlining the ease of making businesses get on the blockchain much easier. And ultimately, that's going to bring in a lot more adoption and help crypto as a whole. There's also a website that was made by a Neblio community member that shows all the ICOs that are coming up on Neblio and all of the current projects that are running on the Neblio blockchain. On to the pros. No frills would be the first one. All the information that I needed was very easy to find. There's no secrets, there's no drama. They've picked a very specific thing that they want to focus on and improve on, and they're doing a great job doing that so far. Neblio's white paper was one of the very few that I read that made me feel like I could kind of understand what was going on. And that makes sense, and I was reading online that people's opinions on that is because they plan on obviously onboarding a lot of companies, and not everybody's going to understand all of this crypto blockchain jargon all the time, so it behooves them to make the white paper more digestible for the common person. Unlike a lot of other projects in the space, Neblio has a working product. They continue to meet deadlines, and sometimes they're even early on deadlines. Not to mention their community is extremely passionate. As I mentioned before, my poll was overwhelmed by them. So that's a great thing. I'm actually still pretty surprised that I didn't hear about the project considering how involved the community is. Next up is the cons. Competition would be the first one, and it would be probably the biggest one. Obviously, Ethereum, Lisk, Neo, EOS, those are all the ones that are major competitors with Neblio. The competition is pretty stiff, but considering they have a working project, they have good tech, and they're not trying to reinvent the wheel, I think that they're in a good place. Marketing I see as a downside simply because the project isn't really talked about. And considering what they're doing, they're helping in mass adopting crypto to bring in all this new fiat. I'm surprised that it's not talked about more because it's definitely a cool project, but that would be a downside for them. I think that comparatively to the other platforms, they should probably be higher in market cap. Team size. The Neblio team is pretty small, and that might make people turn away when they see it because they're used to seeing huge team pages with all these advisors and stuff. But it doesn't mean that what they're pumping out isn't quality, and again, they seem to be meeting all of their deadlines or pumping out stuff sooner, so obviously the size of their team hasn't been affecting their work ethic. The good news about these cons is the majority of these will be solved once the team gets larger and gets more exposure and people know about it. So I guess they're sort of cons for the time being. My final thoughts are that I understand why I didn't know about the project. There's no glamour, there's no drama, there's no stories around the project. It's just a clear-cut team picking a problem and solving it quite well. And because of that, they don't really get any publicity. So I understand that concept. I do think it's a good project, and I do think that it's worth looking into. And again, they are doing something honorable, which is trying to make crypto and blockchain tech more digestible and more useful for common people. That's going to bring in more fiat, that's going to bring in bigger businesses, and that's definitely going to benefit crypto as a whole. Again, it's just a project that's not trying to reinvent the wheel, but they're doing a very good job at what they're setting out to do. So I got to commend them for that. Well, that about sums it up for this week, guys. I want to thank you always for watching, and I will see you all soon.